Welcome to our financial management class. Class previously we were discussing about capital budgeting. We tried to recap our earlier lecture of business finance and tried to link capital budgeting with investment decision. And we ended up our last session on the methods of capital budgeting. So the first, we actually classified the capital budgeting into two methods named as traditional method and discounted cash flow methods, or modern method. Under traditional method, the first method was payback period and the second was accounting rate of return method. So in today's session of capital budgeting, we will try to understand what is payback period and what are the different scenarios under payback period and how to calculate it. We will try to solve different examples on payback period. So let's start with the definition of payback period. Okay, payback period method refers to a period in which the project will generate the necessary cash to recover the initial investment. Okay, let's understand with an example. Suppose firm A has invested $75,000 into a project, and now interested in knowing the payback period or the time of recovery of initial investment. So now what you will do here, you will calculate the payback period of this investment. Okay, now let's have a look that how to calculate payback period method or what are the different scenarios. There are two different situations of payback period. An initial investment can generate equal cash inflows and they can generate unequal cash flow. Equal cash flows are also termed as even cash flow, and unequal cash flows are termed as uneven cash flow. Suppose in the previous example of $75,000, we encountered with the two cases. Case 1, case 2. In the case 1, the firm is generating equal cash flow of $15,000 each year. Suppose for 6 years. These are equal cash flows. And in the second scenario, the firm is generating the following cash flow: 10,000 first year, 15,000 second year, 20,000 third year, 25,000 next year, 30,000 fourth year, and the total cash flow will be for 5 years. So now this is an example of even cash flow, and this is an example of uneven cash flow. So now let's first try to understand how to calculate when the cash inflows are even, how to calculate payback period when the cash inflows are even, and how to calculate cash inflows when, sorry, payback period when the cash inflows are unequal or uneven. So when the cash flows are equal or even, the payback period method formula will be the initial investment divided by annual cash flow. As in previous example of 75,000. Our initial investment was 75,000, and cash flow during each year is 15,000. So putting this value in the formula, we will get 75,000 divided by 15,000 is equal to 5. Here, keep in mind that this annual cash inflow is for profit before depreciation and after tax. Once we will be using the actual data, so we will use these proxies. So the annual cash inflows are proxied by profit before depreciation and after tax. Okay. So now let's solve another example. There is a project which cost 50,000. So it means initial investment is 15,000, 50,000, and the annual inflow of cash is 10,000. So it is very simple. We have a numerator of 50,000. We have a denominator of 10,000. We know the formula that we will divide initial investment by annual cash flow, and now we will get 5 years. The project will be able to recover its initial investment at the end of fifth year. Now, the next case or the second case for uneven cash flow. The formula for payback period of uneven cash flow is equal to E plus B over C. Hold for a moment. What is this E? What is this B? And what is this C? Oh, there's a description. Where E is the number of years immediately preceding the year of payback. Good. B is the balance to be recovered. C is cash flow during the year of recovery. Confusing? Definitely. How come one know what is the balance of recovery? What is the year preceding to payback year? What is C cash flow? Very confusing. Okay, do not confuse. Let's continue our same example where the initial investment was $75. Suppose and the cash inflow were 10,000 during the first year, $15,000 second year, $20,000 third year, $25,000 third year, fourth year, and $30,000 fourth year. Now let's draw a table. So these are years, this is cash flow. Now let's take a cumulative cash flow. Cumulative means then we will add all that and draw the column where actually which will reflect the total cash flow till that year or till that date. So during first year it is 10,000. During the second year we will add the first year total cash flow with the second year, and it becomes 25,000. It becomes 45,000. It becomes 70,000, and it becomes 100,000. So now our initial investment was 75,000. If we check the cumulative cash flow, we have recovered 70,000 by the end of fourth year, and remaining amount, which is 5,000, is yet to be recovered. So now the question is that during fifth year we are recovering 30,000, and a portion of that 30,000 with exactly 5,000 is the amount from the initial investment, which must be included in the calculation of payback period method. We cannot include the whole fifth year because the 4 years are completely involved in the payback period, but a portion of fifth year is only, not the fifth year. So that's why E is the year preceding to the payback year. So the payback year is payback year is 5, in which our initial investment is fully recovered. Yet the year preceding to that, or if we assume the payback year as a last year, so the second last year to that is 4. So our E will be equal to 4. So what is B? The balance to be recovered in the payback year. The balance to be recovered in payback year, which is 5,000. But hold for a moment. We will not go with such an informal way. Rather, we will try to understand the formula. Balance to be recovered or B is initial investment minus cash flow, cumulative cash flow during E. Initial investment is 75,000 and cumulative cash flow during fourth year is 70,000. Their balance is 5,000. So B is equal to 5,000. And now what is C? C is the cash flow during the year of recovery or payback year. So the year of recovery or payback year is fifth and the cash flow is 30,000. So here, when we place these values into the formula, 4 plus 5,000 by 30,000 or 4 plus 1 by 6, it will become around 4.16 approximately. So the project will be able to recover its $75,000 in 4.16 years. So this is how we calculate E, the year preceding to the payback year or year of recovery. B is the balance to be recovered in payback period, and C is the cash flow in the payback year or recovery year. Now let's solve another example. Assume or that determine payback period for a project which requires a cash outlay, which is also proxied as initial investment of 12,000 rupees and generates cash inflow of 2,000, 4,000, 4,000, and 5,000 in the first, second, third, and fourth respectively. So as I told you in even cash flow, if the question using the term annual cash flow and is not differentiating between first, second, third, and fourth year and only giving one value. So it is simply that we will use only that value for and we will spread it across the year, and that will be for even cash flow. But if he is giving different values and also giving the years, then it is a case of uneven cash flow. So now it is a simple and clear cut case of uneven cash flow. And what is our first step? Remember, the first step in uneven is draw a table. If you remember, I draw a table. So from this data, we draw a table, and which will be the first column will be year, second will be cash flow, and third will be cumulative cash flow. Okay, so let's solve this example. Here we have our first column of year, second column of annual cash flow, and third is cumulative cash flow. The first year cash flow was 2,000, and so the cumulative cash flow was 2,000. The second year, the cash flow is 4,000, and cumulative cash flow changed to 6,000. And similarly, moving forward, the third year, the cash flow was 4,000, and the end of third year, cumulative cash flow reached to 10,000. And the fourth year, the cash flow is 5,000, and cumulative cash flow reached to 15,000. So now our initial investment is 12,000. So help me in knowing E, B, and C, which I have just explained. E is the number preceding to the payback year of recovery. So here you can check that during fourth year, our whole amount is recovered, because by end of third year, we actually was on 10,000 or around 2,000 behind the amount to be recovered, and 2,000 was yet to be recovered during fourth year. But during fifth year, we recovered 5,000, 3,000 more than the desired amount. It means a portion of fourth year is consumed in payback period, but not all. So technically, based upon the example, we will take the 3 as E. What is B? Balance to be recovered. I explained you the formula of balance to be recovered. Initial investment, which is 12,000, minus the accumulated cash flow during the E year, which is 10,000. So how much amount is to be recovered? 2000. So B is 2000. What is C? C is the cash flow during the year of recovery or payback year. This is 5000. So C will be 5000. Okay. So what was the formula? Pay back period for uneven is equal to B plus, sorry, E plus B over C. Let's move further. So here I have explained a bit. Up to third year, the initial investment of rupees 12,000 is not recovered, only 10,000 is recovered. And in fourth year, the 15,000 is recovered. So the E will be third year. And how much more we have recovered? 3,000. So simply our B is 2,000. So putting these value here, E3, B as we calculated 2000, C as we calculated 5000. So our payback period for this will be 3.4 years. So this is a case of uneven cash inflow. So guys, this was all for today. We have completed another session and we will come up with another method in our next video. Hope you have enjoyed it. I have assigned two problems for this in your class and I will update on your portal as well or Slate as well. And as I requested on our formal WhatsApp group and other groups that we are going to discuss these questions in class and I can request anyone to join me while I will be presenting this in class and will help me. I'm wishing you best of luck. See you in next class. Thank you. Stay blessed.